This is important because some years back, we were being told that public institutions cannot be good, that they should be sold out or closed. But actually, the history of Makerere University and its standing in our country is proof that public institutions can actually achieve excellence. According to NDP 3, 92% of all parishes now have a government-aided primary school, and 71% of all sub-counties have a government-aided secondary school. Additionally, all major regions of the country have a public university. Given this remarkable access to education, one of the key challenges we now face is to improve the quality and sustainability of these institutions. This challenge applies also to institutions in other sectors such as health, finance, agriculture, transportation, and construction. Strong institutions are indeed a fundamental prerequisite for quality services in all sectors of our society. Allow me to challenge Makerere University and all other education institutions in Uganda to also put greater emphasis on the ethical content of education. The character of our graduates is no less important than their technical knowledge. We already have abundant evidence of teachers who either do not teach or teach relevant subject matter, as well as health workers who are persistently absent from duty for hours and even days. The quality of service delivery in public institutions remains a key challenge for our country. It is a great relief to us all to note that Makerere University has largely risen to this challenge to improve and sustain quality services. It is my sincere prayer that Makerere will lead the way for our country to ensure quality services to our people through sustainable and robust institutions. I thank the Chairperson of Council and her members for excellent work in ensuring proper oversight over the university. I also thank the Vice-Chancellor and his team for strict adherence to high standards of performance in all areas of the university. I thank the faculty and staff for the great work they do behind the scenes, inside and outside the classrooms. And I thank the students for knowing why they are here and for being committed to their calling. Thank you all for carrying Makerere to 100 years. I thank Your Excellency and our First Lady and Minister of Education for the amazing support to Makerere through funding for academic programs, research, innovation, and the ongoing reconstruction of our main hall following the tragic fire of September 2021. Thank you ever so much for being here to launch Makerere University toward the next 100 years. As I conclude, let me also assure our development partners that we do greatly value and appreciate their extensive support for numerous critical research programs they have been funding during the past 100 years. Thank you very much, our development partners. Your Excellency, before I sit down, allow me to mention that in 1980, I was a senior lecturer here, and with my colleague, Joshua Mjenyi, we started Uganda National Movement here at Makerere because we were bothered by the extreme chaos in our country. And you invited us, Joshua Mjinyandai, may his soul rest in peace, and we came and joined you to form the Uganda Patriotic Movement, which later became your national resistance movement. So Makerere may not be aware that we had a small footprint also in the current movement which you lead. Thank you very much. With these few words, I have been told I was supposed to invite the First Lady, but since she's not here, I think I'll leave it to the MC to invite the next speaker. Thank you very much.
Those hand claps, ladies and gentlemen, those hand claps were not sufficient. So these ones that you are about to present will be sufficient for both the Chairperson of Council and the Chancellor of the University. Your Excellency, perhaps what the Chairperson of Council did not tell you, Mrs. Magada, is that beyond her service as Chairperson of the Council, she has benefited immensely from this university, not through just an education, but also picked an incredible husband from here. And that gentleman, I am told, is a historic member of the science of dentistry, that he was one of the first graduates of dentistry from this university. I think, Dr. Makerere, you may wish to stand up for recognition. Now, Your Excellency, having had these incredible presentations from two distinguished members of the management of this university, I think let us relax for at least a minute or two through the presentation of a beautiful song presented by the Makerere University Community Choir, which is a choir that comprises of not just the students, but also former students. That, Your Excellency, you'd know better than all of us. It is a necessary disruption, but a reassurance of how safe we all are thanks to you. And as the university choir sets up stage, the following people please prepare to come to this podium for 1 minute of a goodwill message to the celebration of 100 years. You are the following: Professor Daniel Weiler of the University of Zurich, Henrietta Wamala, the President of the Uganda North American Association, and our friend Shukuru Bizi, the President of the Alumni Association of Makerere University in neighboring Rwanda. And as the song is presented, from which we shall proceed with more engagements, Your Excellency, I also wish to announce that I've been unfair to my co-MC, who now I wish to invite to guide us going forward in announcing the rest of the programming. Her name is Dr. Zahara from the School of Law at Makerere University. And so you may not hear much from me again, Your Excellency and members. If it wasn't for COVID, I would have requested that I come forward and shake your hand. If it wasn't that you are very far from me, I would have possibly waved at you and you see me. But since both of those are not possible, Your Excellency, here is my humble request to you. In your speech, please include my name. Then from there, you and I will have a conversation. The choir, please.
kurwe juju la mere ye twa kurwe juju ye twa kurwe juju la mere ye twa kurwe juju ye twa kurwe juju la mere ye twa kurwe juju ye twa kurwe juju la mere ye twa kurwe juju ye twa kurwe juju la mere ye twa kurwe juju ye twa kurwe juju la mere ye twa kurwe juju ye twa kurwe juju la mere ye twa kurwe juju We either win
or they lose.
Wow, wow. Can we put our hands together for those beautiful voices and sounds of the Performing Arts Department? Your Excellency, when I was a law student about 20 or so years ago here at this university, and I was working with my colleagues to the library to read cases, we used to pass under the trees at the Faculty of Social Sciences then and hear the wonderful drums and voices, and we're like, how easy it is for them to do their coursework. But I know also, from having since matured, that it is not easy to shake your body the way those young people do. And I have also auditioned once or twice for a choir and been turned down. So we do appreciate the voices. Thank you very much, Department of Performing Arts and Film, Makerere University. I'd like to take this opportunity at this juncture to invite the Honorable Minister of State for Higher Education, Honorable Chrysostom Muyingo, to make his remarks, and thereafter invite the Right Honorable Thomas Tayebwa to invite our guest of honor. Honorable Muyingo, you're very welcome.
Thank you very much. Your Excellency, the President of the Republic of Uganda, and a visit at Makerere University, the Right Honorable Deputy Speaker of Parliament of Uganda, the Secretary General of the mighty NRM Party, the Right Honorable Prime Minister Emeritus, allow me to recognize all the protocol as presented by the Vice Chancellor, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. I stand here to represent my senior minister, the First Lady and Minister of Education and Sports, who was invited and she actually went ahead and prepared, but due to equally important state duties elsewhere, she's not able to be with us today. She asked me to come in, and I'm here to deliver her message verbatim. Your Excellency, today is a historic day. It's a historic day in our nation as we gather to commemorate 100 years of the oldest and premier university in East Africa, and that's Makerere University. We celebrate a university recognized for nurturing the most renowned post-independence leaders in the African continent. Leaders such as former presidents of Kambarage Nyerere, Benjamin Mkapa of Tanzania, Mwai Kibaki of Kenya, as well as Kenya's first vice president, Jaramogi Oginga Odinga, including many other leaders across the continent. Your Excellency, in Uganda, Makerere has educated several national leaders. Talk of presidents, vice presidents, speakers of parliament, prime ministers, government ministers, members of parliament, including leaders from all strata of society. Furthermore, our very own President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, who studied at the University of Dar es Salaam, joined Makerere distinguished alumni when he received an honorary doctorate on the 12th December 2010. Makerere's mandate and heritage are to raise leaders for the continent and beyond. So time cannot permit me to enumerate all the distinguished men and women of various disciplines educated in this great university whose impact reaches beyond Uganda's borders and globally. As an honored alumni, of this great institution myself, I join thousands of well-wishers and alumni worldwide to congratulate Makerere University as we celebrate and thank God for this incredible legacy. The year-long celebrations have been marked by showcasing the success of the past century, celebrating noteworthy personalities, reflecting on the challenges and dialoguing with partners for future aspirations. As we commemorate the significance of the past 100 years, we must leverage the vast experiences and lessons learned to spur national transformation. In this new dawn, we have an opportunity to restore what has been broken and set a fresh path and momentum for future generations. Consequently, I challenge Makerere University to step out of the limitations of the past, anticipate the demands of the future, and intentionally seek to provide solutions for society's needs. As government, we commit to supporting you in this endeavor. I thank the government of Uganda, in particular, Your Excellency the President, for your leadership and unwavering support toward the restoration and renovation of several university structures. We thank you, Your Excellency. In this regard, Your Excellency, I recently laid the foundation stone for the rebuilding of the main building that was regrettably gutted by fire in September 2020. I also officiated at the opening of the School of Dentistry. Through similar government efforts, the School of Law will soon have its new facility in place, and the renovation of students' halls of residence has also begun. We have started with Lumumba Hall, Your Excellency. In addition, resources have been availed for the construction of Makerere's teaching hospital and many other ongoing projects, Your Excellency. Even more impactful is the government's annual contribution of 30 billion shillings towards research and innovation in the priority areas stipulated in the National Development Plan 3. Indeed, the future is promising as Makerere spearheads homegrown solutions for our problems and exceptional circumstances. As we work together to enhance the facilities and infrastructure at Makerere University and other universities, I appeal to the current beneficiaries of Makerere and the younger people gathered here to please be mindful of the detractors and the enemies of development that may seek to delay you from achieving your education and fulfilling your life goals. Don't accept to be distracted. To the alumni in Uganda and in the diaspora, I invite you to commit to partnering with Makerere University as it delivers on its core mandate of teaching, learning, research, and service to the community. May we all endeavor to give back to this great institution that laid the foundation for the leadership and development of Uganda, development of nations in Africa, and the development in the world. As I conclude, Your Excellency, I express my sincere gratitude to the University Council, the management, the Makerere at 100 organizing committee, and all the leaders in your various constituencies in the university. We thank you. We thank you for the dedication to ensuring a memorable Makerere at 100 commemoration. Your passion, your innovation, and your commitment to accomplishing this work throughout this year are quite remarkable. Thank you for your selfless service and for enabling us to proudly acknowledge and truly thank God for the outstanding achievements of the last century. We commit the next 100 years to the one who is able to do so much more than we can ever ask for or even think of our God and Father. Your Excellency, I've been told by the MC that something is about to happen. Let's watch the screen. I thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Crizesto Muyingo, Minister of State for Higher Education, celebrating a century of service to humanity. Your Excellency, we thank you, and we thank Honorable Muyingo for the message of commitment that your government will continue to support Makerere University. Because it's a day of celebration, we beg your indulgence, Your Excellency, before we may request you to come and speak to us, to continue to celebrate Makerere University. Makerere University is a pot of broth with many cooks, and we'd like to allow as many persons that have contributed to cooking the soup to say something about Makerere University. Allow me at this juncture to request Henrietta Wamala from the Uganda North American Association to say something about Makerere.
Your Excellency, President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, President of the Republic of Uganda, Your Royal Highnesses, Members of Parliament, the Chancellor, the Vice Chancellor of Makerere University, distinguished dignitaries, the students of Makerere University, friends of Makerere University, all protocols observed. It gives me great pleasure to represent the Ugandan diaspora here today as the president of the Ugandan North American Association. And I indeed bring hearty greetings from the members and Makerere alumni from North America. A few weeks ago, at our UNA convention, we had a chance to celebrate this momentous occasion with a delegation from Makerere led by Professor Barnabas Nawangwe in North America. The feedback has been very positive, especially from the alumni and the friends of Makerere. Most of them saying that they felt a special touch and were honored that Makerere was able to come and share such a milestone with the diaspora. It's no secret that while many of us were growing up, the dream was to be successful at school and eventually graduating from this prestigious Makerere University of ours. Now you should know that Makerere is the Oxford, the Yale of Africa, or even the world. And it's been every parent's dream, just as we were kids, to see that people were graduating from this institution. Now, even as we have made homes out of Uganda, we are still nostalgic to see that our relatives whom we have taken guardianship of and helped through school can still graduate in this institution. That's our dream as some of us in the diaspora. Therefore, I stand with pride and great honor that we as diaspora have been included in these centennial celebrations. Thank you so much, Makerere management. As you may know, some of the smartest and greatest minds in the diaspora today are alumni from this great institution. And they have been a blessing, guiding, highlight, upholding our image as Ugandans, as immigrants abroad. Our Makerere alumni are people from all walks of life, We have heads of states, we have royals, we have technocrats, we have doctors, we have educators, we have engineers, and all who are making an impact in the world today. Makerere University has evolved over the years, and we out there see it as one of the most advanced science and technological institutions, which has produced scientists, engineers, researchers, and they are breaking barriers with some of the major institutions around the world, and even home here today, institutions such as Chira Motors, which is Uganda's leading automotive industry, and the scientific research, which has been evidenced even during the COVID pandemic. So those are milestones that we should be proud of as Ugandans. We would like to see more of these institutions arise from Makerere to create more jobs for its graduates. Uganda needs more job creators for its young workforce. We hope that Makerere can take lead on this as Uganda's leading institution for academic excellence, research, and innovation. The diaspora community continues to do its part. We support our nation by supporting our families. That is through remittances, through investments, skills, and training. Some of us who are interested in trade are also actively creating awareness of Ugandan exports abroad. Our emphasis is on finding new markets, improvement of products here, and adding value to the products through resource development, which equates to processing and manufacturing. As in the past, as His Excellency has simply put it, trade is the tool of positive change, stability and wealth of humanity, which definitely opens doors to poverty eradication and strengthens prosperity in economies and will yield socio-economic transformation for the citizens of Uganda in a large moment. As diaspora, we are proud. We are proud of the partnership UNA has made with Makerere University, and we pray that we celebrate the best of this institution. And more can be done by government, by private citizens, to see that it yields even better. We stay committed to this relationship and to build a better future for Uganda, for we look forward to seeing our children and our great-grandchildren celebrating another 100 years in the future. So I would like to join each and every one of you as we ululate this milestone for Makerere and say happy centennial celebrations to Makerere University. Thank you for having us.
Thank you very much, Madame Henrietta Wamala. Your Excellency, I'm reliably informed that when the Makerere delegation went to San Francisco to join the UNA convention, the convention became about Makerere University. So we thank you for that commitment, diaspora, and for loving Makerere University. We also have partners that we work with externally. I'd like to invite Professor Daniel Weiler from the University of Zurich, and I trust, Professor, that you'll be able to say something in 1 minute.
Okay. Your Excellency, the President of Uganda, I was also ambushed somehow into this talk yesterday and was given 2 minutes. Now, unlike the previous speaker, I will not take revenge on your tight schedule, but will hopefully stay within a minute. This is also expected of a Swiss. But before I tell you my message, I would like to add a personal comment. Each time I'm here in Uganda, I'm so pleased with the humor, the jokes people make, the openness, and we have seen much of it also today. Of course, needless to say, in Switzerland you will not have such a culture. Okay, so for the last 100 years, Makerere University has been a beacon of science and innovation in Africa. My visit here has shown me again how young and dynamic this university has remained and is eager to stay as a leader. The University of Zurich is proud of its long-standing collaborations with Makerere, in particular in the human health and veterinary sciences. In some sense, you can say Makerere has opened much of the world for the people in Zurich. We are honored to be part of Makerere's important role in Africa and assure it of all our support now, now and in the future. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And indeed, the Swiss did not disappoint. At this juncture, let me invite the last person to give a goodwill message. That is the president of the Alumni Association in Rwanda, Shukuru Bizimungu.
Your Excellency, President Museveni, all protocol observed. My name is Shukuru Bizimungu Yondo. I head the Association of Makerere Rwanda Alumni. I'm here to celebrate and to thank Makerere University for the opportunity it gave me and the potential it kind of instilled in me to serve my country, Rwanda, and to serve the world at large. Had it not been Makerere University, I think I wouldn't have actually moved from my small village in Ntungamo, Ruhama, to here, where I spent 4 years studying a course that is so dear to everybody here, including the head of state. I can see he has a cup of tea. I studied food science and technology here at Makerere University. That was my base over there for 4 years, and I was a resident of Nkrumah Hall for 4 years. Nkrumah, oye! Yes, with the delegation from Kigali, I request them to stand up for recognition. Please, Makerere University Rwanda Students Association. Yes. Thank you so much. We all appreciate. I have come here to bring appreciation from all members of MURWA. We call it MURWA, Makerere University Rwanda Alumni Association. They are so happy. We have many members from this gallant institution, ministers, ambassadors. I'm happy to also be a boss of His Excellency, the Ambassador, Your Excellency Joseph, the Ambassador of Rwanda, the High Commissioner of Rwanda to Uganda. Yes, he's my ambassador, but I'm also his boss. I'm so happy. We are happy to have you, sir. So, Your Excellency, we are so happy as alumni in Rwanda to be here as we celebrate 100 years. And as I said, Makerere University has really shaped me. I served Rwanda, and I'm now serving the world at United Nations level based in Kigali. I thank you. I thank you, Makerere, Professor Nawangwe, and Right Honorable Chidega when you were in Kigali the other day celebrating with us 100 years. You really showed us that we are important, and we also think we are important in developing the world, but we take all that from Makerere University. Thank you so much.
Indeed, it is true, Your Excellency, that Makerere is serving a century of service to humanity beyond Uganda's goals, as is evident from the speech from the president of the Rwanda alumni. I'm also pleased that in our midst we have visitors, ministers, delegates from neighboring countries, and I'd like to request you to stand up as I read your name. Ambassador Joseph Rutabana, Republic of Rwanda, thank you very much for coming. Minister of Higher Education from the Republic of South Sudan, Honorable Gabriel Chang, and the Minister of Education for Liberia, Mr. Fopo, Honorable Fopo. We also have the Director General, Directorate of Accreditation, Private and Foreign Higher Education in the Ministry of Higher Education of South Sudan, Professor Mamour Tanuk. Thank you very much for coming. We also have our student leaders. We are pleased to have our student leaders, former student leaders from Makerere University. I'm happy to say that the first female guild president was elected during the time I was a student leader. Honorable Sarah and your colleagues, the former guild presidents and student leaders, kindly stand up for recognition. Thank you very much. We are also pleased that we have a big representation of our partners, the Uganda People's Defense Forces. So security is high level. Thank you very much. We have a big delegation at the back. Maybe they can wave to us if their discipline allows. Thank you very much, UPDF, for the support that we always enjoy from Makerere University. At this juncture, it's my honor and pleasure to request Right Honorable Thomas Taebwa to come and do the honors of inviting you, our chief guest.
Your Excellency, sir, I should also inform you that we have the Minister of Education from the Republic of Rwanda, Madame Valentine Owamaria, who is here with us to celebrate. Mr. President, we have appreciated you, your efforts, but the most outstanding, when I came to 2001 study here, I was doing social sciences, and there is what we called studying by rumor. What it meant, Mr. President, was because of little studying space or lecture rooms, students, some of us would sometimes stand in windows, and then the student who is inside would hear, and the one outside would ask, what did the lecturer say? So we called it studying by rumor. Your Excellency, you sorted that by building infrastructure for Makerere. When you move around, there is no more studying by rumor in Makerere. Your Excellency, number two, we've appreciated you for doing much, but we who benefited from Makerere are not doing a lot for Makerere to supplement your efforts. We've become big, we earn a lot, but we are not giving back to Makerere. When you look at universities which we appreciate, like Harvard, they have an endowment fund of $53 billion. Makerere alumni, how much are we giving back to our university to supplement efforts of government and His Excellency the President? I think it's a very big challenge to us, because when you go to the Western world, people are even putting universities in their will to benefit from their estate. We are building churches, We are building mosques, but we are not building universities. We are leaving it to government at Yambi. When I was reading the history of missionaries, they said, go build big churches, but build bigger schools. Because bigger schools will produce people who will build bigger and bigger churches. So alumni, let's give back to our university. And I will start by being an example. Finally, Your Excellency, it's a dialogue which we've started as young people, and we are working on a concept which we are soon bringing to you. Most beneficiaries of government sponsorship, Your Excellency, are students from well-to-do families. They are students of the rich, from Namagunga, from Ksuri, from Chitende. That's where all of us are taking our children so that they excel and can benefit from government sponsorship. Your Excellency, in Mitoma, before Makerere started the district quota system, you could find we couldn't get a student to benefit on government sponsorship, studying from Mitoma. Now, you find now we get 8 students because you have a special program per quota which you give to students who studied from those poor districts. But the people benefiting here coming to get fees from Makerere who disturb you of leaving out allowance and what as children of Tayebwas. They are not children of those peasants in Karamoja. So we are working on a concept which we shall share with you, Your Excellency, as a proposal to you, sir, that government sponsorship is changed so that those students of the rich can come to Makerere and pay for medicine, pay for law, pay for dentists, but children of the poor are the ones you give that government sponsorship. Because these children, where they are coming from, Your Excellency, the schools they come from are schools where fees is higher than what they pay at Makerere. When they are given school fees, sometimes they even take it, you know, they don't even appreciate because they are cheap, they laugh and say, but I mean, my father can even afford taking me to America. What are you telling me about your government scholarship here? So I shared with Professor Kwakor. I'm glad she's here. And Your Excellency, we shall be soon bringing a proposal so that those who should benefit from poor families, some of us who afford. I have over 10 students here. Why should my child benefit from a scholarship at Makerere? With that, Your Excellency, I take this honor to invite you to address the congregation.
Sit down, please. Sit down. The Right Honorable Tayewa, Deputy Speaker, Right Honorable Hakana Rugunda, Prime Minister Emeritus, Right Honorable Todong, Secretary General NRM, Chancellor, Makerere University, Vice Chancellor, Ministers, and all the invited guests. On behalf of the government, I congratulate Makerere University and the alumni and the people of Uganda on this occasion of the 100 years since Makerere started as a teaching institution. There is an education review commission headed by the Honorable Amanya Mushega. And I met them the other day. And the aim of that commission Okay. Are you hearing me? When I was addressing them, because like you see when you talk, 1922, Makerere started, and so on and so forth. But we have been here for 4.5 million years. The human race started here in Africa. And we have been here for 4.5 million years. How can the educational system just concentrate on 100 years? There's something there. Because we were here long, long ago. It is true, we have made some achievements which I will point out, but you need a holistic understanding of society. Maybe you could benefit from Archbishop Kazimba when he reminds you of the book of Genesis, where God gave us the original mandate. You remember God worked very hard. He did something on Monday. Then on Tuesday, he did something else. Then on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Then on Saturday, you created a human being. And when you created the human being, he said, you man. He was originally a man, then later on a man produced a woman. And he said, you people, multiply and fill the earth. That one the Africans are doing very well. But also establish dominion over nature. Because remember, God created man in his own image, different from all these other things he was creating. And then he said, because you are a small God, you are a little bit like me, establish dominion over nature. And that's where Professor Kagonyara, I want to thank him for his reinforcement. When he was speaking here, in my battle on behalf of science education, because what did that establishing dominion over nature means? What did it? Yeah, what did it mean? It meant this man, who was a small God, because he was a little bit like God, would understand the laws of nature and use them for his own benefit, I think. And what are the laws of nature? Gravity, pressure, heat. This is nature. If you understand the laws of nature and you use them to solve problems, then that is science. So therefore, In my presentation to the Amanya Mushega Commission, I will point out that the story of man is a long one. 4.5 million years since the Homo sapiens sapien, as he's called, the wise man, with the three characteristics: a superior brain, walking on two legs, bipedal, and having a hand which can hold and do things. This is the difference between man and all the other creatures. So therefore, this Makerere, this 1922, is a phenomenon at a certain historical point as a consequence of what had gone on in our society before. The question is, how were the African societies organized before colonialism? How were they organized? They should be studied thoroughly by the social science. I am one of the people who refused to come to Makerere. I refused. I said I would not go to Makerere. When we were making choices, all my 3 choices were put to the University of Dar es Salaam. Choice number 1, Dar es Salaam. Choice number 2, Dar es Salaam. Choice number 3, Dar es Salaam. Why? Because I wanted to be near Nyerere. And why Nyerere? Because Nyerere was already being talked about as somebody who wanted integration of East Africa and who was fighting for the liberation of Southern Africa at that time. So therefore, when we are auditing Makerere in these 100 years and these other groups, the auditing should start with, did they understand, especially the social, when I come to the auditing, I will make a difference between science and the social sciences, these ones of Kasiate. Oh, Kasiate is mentioned now. So, the African social science should study these African societies before the onset of colonialism. Why is it that when the foreigners came, they conquered us? Why? Kasiate needs to answer that. Apart from speaking on the microphone and so on, he needs to answer that. So when I read what Dr. Mwambutia and these others write here, I don't see quite that. What was it? Why was it? Because the Europeans came very slowly. The Europeans came here because of the problems they had in Europe. In 1453, the Ottoman Turks captured Constantinople. I'm glad Dr. Kazimbi is here, but also don't dismiss my credentials as a religious person. Those of you who say they are Christians would have read the book of the book of the Acts of the Apostles. In that book, there's a man called St. Paul there, who was on the opposition, but he was converted to this side. And now he went through a place called Asia Minor. In the Bible, it's called Asia Minor. But if you go on the map now, you can't see Asia Minor. What was being called Asia Minor in the Bible is now Turkey. And those letters which St. Paul was writing to the Ephesians, where are the Ephesians? They are in Turkey. Ephesus is in Turkey. The Galatians, where is Galatia? Turkey. Some of the towns are in Greece, like Corinth, like Thessalonica. They are in Greece. Now, that area, which was originally where St. Paul was operating, was captured by the Ottoman Turks in 1453. When the Ottoman Turks captured that place, they blocked the Europeans from going to the east. You remember there was that route which had been established by a man called Marco Polo. In your old history, you would have heard of that. And this was the Silk Road, was bringing silk, was bringing spices, but it was now blocked. The Chinese president these days is talking of the Silk Road. He wants to bring back that trade route. So when the Europeans were blocked on the land route, that's when they started looking for a route around by sea to the east. And the ones who led that effort were the Portuguese. By 1472, they were near Sierra Leone. 1482, a Portuguese man called Diego Cama got to where Angola is now. 1487, another Portuguese man called Bartholomew Diaz got to where Cape of Good Hope is now. And 1498, Vasco da Gama goes around South Africa and lands at Natal. That's why Natal is called Natal, because he arrived there on Christmas Day, 1498. And then he proceeded to Mombasa, and then he attacked Mombasa when he was going to India. Now, this is 1498. The Europeans were coming to the East African coast. And a rumor was coming. The problem, what I don't, because I belong to a clan which has been here all these times. And we know all those histories. But it is never taught in the school. They're just running around talking about small things. For instance, there was a man from Karagwe. You can't hear it in any of the schools. This man Karagwe is in Tanzania now. There was a man called Kakarakashagama, Kamango, Katondajira Karukunyu. This man was a prophet, and he prophesied that you people, this land of yours will be taken by foreigners, meaning Africa, meaning these parts which he knew, Karagwe, Ankole, Buganda, Rwanda, Bujinja, there are some places in Tanzania, will be taken by foreigners. But our traditional chiefs were not bothered. Just full of themselves, they put on leopard skins. When he puts on a leopard skin, he thinks he's a leopard. So you can imagine Vasco da Gama passes by 1498. The first white man to come to Uganda here, you remember, was Huntington Speke, 1862. This is almost 400 years. When the Europeans are coming, passing. Now, these chiefs here within Africa don't organize themselves to say, we hear there are some people who are coming, let's organize ourselves. No, they are just here full of themselves. And when they come, they capture all these fellows like grasshoppers. Some of them try to fight like cavalry. They can't. They were already, it was already too late. So, who has done that audit of that society? Now, meanwhile, this imbalance between Europe and Africa was not always there, because you have heard that God gave us the mandate to establish dominion over nature. Establishing dominion over nature means really understanding science. That's what it means. Be able to deal with the drought, be able to deal with the diseases, be able to deal with the floods. That's what establishing dominion over nature means in the Bible. And for us, in our NRM, we always teach our people that the primer, I heard somebody talking of socio-economic change. But what is the primer? The primer is the initiator of social change. The primer of social change, socio-economic change, is development of science and technology. When man invented fire, fire was invented 1.5 million years ago. You can imagine, man was here 4.5 million years ago, but fire was invented 3 million years after. Before that, there was no fire. And when fire was invented, it caused big changes in society. People could, before fire, people were sleeping in trees, because trees were the only safe place where you could be, so that the animals don't eat you. But with the invention of fire, the human beings could move into the caves. They could light the caves and move there and warm the caves and stay there. And the caves were more comfortable than the trees. So there was social change, social progress from tree to cave. That's progress, because the caves were a bit more protected. So you come, the invention of fire, the Africans did it. Invention of agriculture, to capture crops from the bush and bring them home here so that you don't have to go looking for them in the bush. Domestication of animals, of cows. There also my ancestors played a role. They brought them from the bush, they put them home. The invention of iron, all this, the Africans did it on their own. I don't know how it was spreading, but they did it. Now the problem was that in the last 500 years, the Africans lagged behind. And that's what the education system must bring out. How did the Africans lag behind? Because fire, they were there. Agriculture, domestication of crops, they were there. Domestication of livestock, they were there. The invention of iron, they were there. But what happened? When the Europeans invented gunpowder, we didn't know about it. For us, we continued with the spears, with the arrows, and so on. Now, as you hear, the Europeans came up to Mombasa, but they couldn't enter. Couldn't come inside Africa. Why? Africa was defending us. Africa, the land, was defending us. How? By the mosquito, by the distance. But the Europeans, in the 400 years after Vasco da Gama passed here, discovered quinine. Quinine, they discovered quinine. So they could be able to deal with malaria. And by the time they got here, they had discovered the steam engine. The steam engine. That's how they were able to build the railway from the coast to here. So they had solved the problem of disease, solved the problem of distance by train, and solved the problem of superior firepower by inventing gunpowder when our half-naked fellows were running around with spears only. So therefore, I congratulate Makerere, especially the science side. And when we came, of course, for us NRM, we had studied all this. By the time we came, our views were very clear. What I'm telling you is what I was talking about more than 40 years ago when we were in the bush. So we knew that the primer of social change is science and technology. So when we came here, first of all, like the friend from Rwanda is talking about the faculty of food science. I ordered them to start that faculty because it was not there. I said, how can you have a university without it? I told the one who was in charge, was it Chiria or who, to start it. The faculty of food science. And also the faculty of quantitative economics. I insisted on that. And then expanding the other faculties, the faculty of medicine, started in Barra University. When I started in Barra University, there was a debate. Why do you start a new one? Where will the doctors go? The doctors are too few. Have you heard of something called WHO? Say, yes, we have heard about it. What does the WHO tell you? How many doctors do we need per what portion of population? We need one doctor every 500 people. So Uganda now with 43 million people, we should be having 80,000 doctors. But how many do we have now? You total the doctors ever since you started. I don't think they're even, maybe about 5,000. So therefore, I congratulate especially the science faculty. Medicine, they have really, those ones are a little bit in the line of God, of the book of Genesis. Establish dominion over Ebola. That's what Jesus said. Establish dominion over Ebola. Establish dominion over Corona. Establish dominion over all these diseases. So those ones, I congratulate them, they are trying. The other science faculties, they are also trying because now technology, they have produced our Chira vehicle. Dr. Mrango, food science, is busy with the bananas. They are actually trying. The science groups are trying. They are trying. But still, maybe you should help me. When somebody gets a Bachelor of Science in agriculture, the other day I was in Namlonge, and there were, our people were there from here, from Makerere. And there was cotton there. Cotton. I said, what do you get from cotton? They told me textiles. I said, oh, thank you. Cooking oil from the seed. I said, thank you. Of course, you can also get animal feed from the sitting cold cake. I said, I think it was a lady. Maybe she's also here. So I said, and she said, those are the ones I know. But me, who is a bushman, I know there's something in cotton which I have not mentioned. This is gunpowder. I don't think that person had, I don't know whether he or she is here. I don't think they had ever known that gunpowder, which these people are using to kill us, especially the modern one, is from cotton. So, in the faculty of agriculture, was the emphasis grow more cotton, grow more coffee, do it in a better way, and so on? How about value addition? Was it being taught in the faculty of agriculture to add value? Because if I train in crops, I should study the whole value chain, fresh, processed, and sub-processed. You audit that. How is it? So therefore, with the science, definitely there is some progress, and that's why I have been pushing it. You remember I said 70% of the scholarships go to science. This has been going on for almost almost 20 years now. Recently, when I insisted on paying better science teachers, there was a big struggle, but I think we are moving. So science, we moved a bit. We are now going to move more decisively, and I would like to convince all of you that really science is the primer of all social change. If you don't deal with science, you may not even exist. You may even disappear from. If you go to Australia now, there are people they call Australians, but those are Europeans who came and found those indigenous people there. They are the main group there. The indigenous Australians are always, they are very miserable people. America, when you go to America, who are the Americans? Americans who are there now are Europeans. What happened to the original people? They lagged behind in science and technology. So therefore, either you disappear or you survive at the mercy of others. And since God gave me this opportunity to be here to talk to lead the country, I will not allow Ugandans to be part of that. That's why I am insisting on science and technology. But coming to the social sciences, that's why I went to Dar es Salaam. The social sciences, because if we are to survive in the modern world, we must deal with two issues. Deal with the issue of prosperity. How will our society be more prosperous? You cannot be prosperous unless you produce more goods and services of all types. Now, the more goods you produce, look at the Japanese. The Japanese don't have natural resources. They don't have oil, they don't have minerals, they don't have what? But they are the third richest country in the world. Why? The Tayabas are the one making them rich, and themselves. Because if I came here in a Japanese car, I think. These Toyotas, the what, all these clans of Japanese cars, Toyota, Mitsubishi, those are Japanese families or something. That's how Japan is very prosperous. They produce goods, we give them money, and they become rich. So, if production of goods and services can only be realized when you sell what you produce, what is the plan here in Africa? The social scientists should be talking of economists, should be talking of integration, economic integration, because when I produce a good, the more people that buy it, the better. If I produce, people buy, the more they buy, the more prosperous I become. The more prosperous I become, the more people I employ. The more taxes I pay. The more... So if you don't solve the issue of integration, if you don't talk about it as a main point, how shall we build prosperity? United States is a prosperous country because of that big market. China now has come up. India. What is the thinking here in academia, in Africa, in the government, in the bureaucracy? Talking about other things. How about strategic security? How can you ensure security? Like what is going on now in Europe, the wars. The other day, NATO came and attacked Libya, an African country, against the permission, without the permission of the African Union. We're just sitting. Libya is in chaos now. For I don't know how long, for how many years now, almost 20 years now. Africa is just here. Now, if you don't deal with prosperity, which you can get partly through integration, you don't deal with strategic security, then what are you doing? So I think social science has got a very serious challenge. I had come here the other time. There was somebody called Professor Chirumira. We talked, but we didn't conclude. I would again like to come back and talk, especially the ones of history and the ones of political science. When we were in the University in Dar es Salaam, building modules. Why are you building modules? This is reality here. Why are you assuming? This is reality. Why don't you deal with it? Huh? You go the whole day until you get tired, assuming this, assuming. So I congratulate Makerere, especially the science branch, the Faculty of Medicine, agriculture, but agriculture they need to tell me why they don't know that is gunpowder in cotton. The Faculty of Engineering, the Faculty of Food Science, it has come up. They are doing very well. Chamhangire, Dr. Murangan, all the others, they are doing very well. Those ones are actually doing very well. The ICT, I see them also doing something. So I congratulate those and I encourage them and I want to deepen what they are doing. Social science, Katuogere. Let's get time and talk. Naye, famaganda tugamba, ekisata muyima, tekikola ki? Ekisata muyima? The proverb is that if a muhima doesn't die, Even if the cows die, he will get new ones. So since Makerere has survived 100 years, what has not been done will be done. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Your Excellency, for the wonderful speech. The protocols are going to follow as follows. But before that, Your Excellency, let me thank you for mentioning my name not just once but twice, and for inviting me to be part of the group of social scientists that will come to see you for a talk. Ladies and gentlemen, we are coming to the conclusion of our 100-year celebration. We will move very swiftly as follows. We will have the anthem sung in reverse order, and then His Excellency shall depart. And then, ladies and gentlemen, there is no celebration in Africa that goes without a meal. So we request you humbly that you stay and enjoy a meal that has been prepared for 100 years. Those without teeth with dentists are here. The solutions are in plenty. But how shall we partake of that? I will announce the protocols when our guest of honor has exited. But also I have been reminded that there is no celebration that does take place in Africa, complete with a guest of honor of the level of His Excellency the President, that goes without that guest receiving a gift. So Makerere University, Your Excellency, has prepared a gift not only for you, but also for the Minister of Education, who is not present, but we know for sure that when you receive her gift, it will arrive in real time. So may I request this young man, Brian, who prepared the gift, and Your Excellency, this gift is not an assumption, it is a real one. It was done by hand, and it was made here at Makerere University and not from Japan. As the gift comes, I've also been informed that there is no celebration in Africa which goes without distinguished people taking a photograph with His Excellency the President. But then I have also been reminded that owing to the time schedule available, we will use technology to have that picture with you, Your Excellency. For you, you go, we shall send you the picture where you were, but you were not there physically. His Excellency the President receives a hand-drawn painting from a young artist of Makerere University called Brian, who took his time to draw you and the Minister of Education. We are progressing well, Your Excellency. Tremendous. We have three categories of people, ladies and gentlemen, that I'm now requested to go and join His Excellency the President for a group picture. The Chancellor, the Vice Chancellor, and only the principals of those places at Makerere University that are headed by principals, including and not limited to Makerere University Business School. Please, let's make it quick. The protocol people will usher us in. There is another category, but in those pictures, the Right Honorable Speaker, Deputy Speaker of Parliament, and the Minister of Education, you are going to be a constant fixture. So please join them. Now the Chair of Council, your Vice Chairperson of Council, and the chairpersons of the committees in the council, not council members, but the chairpersons of the committees of the council. Please move towards the dais where the picture is being taken. You are the next group. Let's make it quick. The Rainmaker gave me 3 minutes for this. He told me if I go against his instructions, I will not take responsibility of what happens to your beautiful hair and clothes. As the council chairpersons prepare to go, the last group of people take a picture is the central management of Makerere University. That includes the Vice Chancellor, your Deputy Vice Chancellors, and the protocols as you know them. Professor Nawangwe has told me that His Excellency the President requests that the delegation of ministers from the rest of the other sister African countries please step forward to take a picture with Your Excellency. Protocol will guide us. That is visiting delegations. Thank you very much. The visiting delegations from other African countries, that includes ministers of education in their respective capacities. Thank you very much. The Rainmaker has agreed to allow me a few seconds. Great. So, Your Excellency, please take your position. Like I requested you earlier to mention my name and you did, another gentleman here has said if I don't mention his name before you, after you have gone, he cannot guarantee my security. And that gentleman is called Dr. Milton Wabiona. Dr. Milton Wabiona is an incredible performing arts scientist. When everything fails in Africa, at least we sing and dance. So Milton and his choir are going to step forward and sing the national anthem and other anthems in the reverse order in which we sang them at the beginning. After which, Your Excellency, you may depart at leisure. See you again when we return here for the 200th Makerere University celebrations.